Will JK and Brooke manage to get pregnant? Where's Courtney gone? And why is Coraline back in it? To answer this and many more questions, allow me to take us back to the beginning. Hello and welcome to Lawd Lukan. It's time to leave your donations at the desk as we sample some more Life After Lockup. On today's show, JK's not fussy.
I have to take what I can get.
Will's had a thought.
Probably wasn't the brightest idea.
Dan's checking out Bianca's new wax.
It's pretty.
It was cheap.
And Brooke spills her beans to Bonnie.
Damn, bro.
All this and more right here on the Lawd Lukan channel.
Is there anything else you want to shove in my face?
Ahoy hoy, Sabania, and also to you. Big loves to those who've subscribed, you beautiful people, and a graph hallucination watch to the lords and ladies of the Lukan Manor. Some say, mon petit point, that there is such a place called Means, and that ideally you should live in it. Others say that it's much better to live in Fuck It I'll Do It Anyway, where you can do anything you want and live in complete denial of all your responsibilities. Two of the plucky inhabitants of Fuck It I'll Do It Anyway are Brooke and JK, who are just some of the cast members here to wow you with their personal problems this week. Great. So, for this saga, we'll need to pop over to the delightful Marlin, Texas. Yes, indeed, Marlin, Texas, the place that's so amazing it's famous for being an intersection of Highway 5 and 6. Well, everybody's favourite highways. And also because someone laid some railway tracks there once. Good job. Other people that are trying to lay their own railway track in Marlin is JK, James Jimbo, over at his mum's house.
It's Wednesday, babe. Do you know what Wednesday means?
Now, if you had any concept of what a Wednesday means, like, that middle of the day that marks the halfway point to the weekend, to me, it's the day my mother does her grocery shopping, or the name of that TV show that my daughter likes. Well, whatever your mental image of Wednesday is, prepare to have it irreparably adjusted.
Pre-seed day. Miracle Grow.
Seed day, yes. If they can't get Brooke to conceive naturally, they're gonna force one out of her with a bit of turkey baster action. And what in the 2016 is going on with that filter? Makes Jimbo look very glamorous. Couldn't give him any teeth though, I guess. Working in one of those donation clinics must be a decidedly dodgy place to work. You got guys like Jimbo rocking up to rock up. Who needs that mental image? And what about people on their first day? If you're new to the job and still a bit clumsy, when you have a bad day, you're really having a bad day. Then Brooke says the quiet bit out loud.
We don't need
Twins. Triplets.
Nah, it's typical all of these people from Fuck It'll Do It Anyway. You'd hate to have the boy with his genes, yet you're willing to chuck a 50-50 at it. She does, of course, already have two boys. So what if she's one of those women who can't help but have boys all the time? Is it true that the more of one gender you have, the more likely it is that you can have more of the same? Well, there was a recent study of many donations by a lady called Siwon Wang. and I totally didn't make that up. Siwon Wang. You might as well do what your name suggests, I suppose. Like Mr. Butcher should do stuff with meat. Or Miss Baker should do a bit of bread. Therefore, Professor Wang here does cock. Kind of. Good job. Anyway, Wang says that if you have three boys... Wang says that if you have three boys, for example, your choice of having another boy is 61%. However, if you have all girls, it's only 58%. So, for Brooke here, it's sausage o'clock. We join them on the waterbed on the floor of Jimbo's mum's lounge. How romantic. Is this an upgrade from the weird medical room? Jimbo and Brooke are trying to knock a coconut out of the tree, while Big John's trying to watch Jimmy Kimmel.
Pre-seed day.
Preceding is all about making sure the landing strip is clear, for when this cockpit tries to land his light aircraft in a hang-up. It's a product that mimics cervical mucus. Gross. You may as well say vagina bogies. Now, I've been on a nightmarish rabbit hole, and so I'm going to leave that whole topic there. So, Jimbo's here, pumping the farts out of Brooke. I bet that's just for fun, really. Doesn't serve any practical purpose. A well-placed armed here, though, so, good job, cameraman. We don't need to see Brooke's shawarma terrifying neighbours. So he flips her around for a bit of, whatever this horror show is. Then goes for the classic shake one out method.
Maybe he shakes. I'm just trying to get it in there.
But babies aren't the only thing that Brooke and Jimbo are dreaming about. They dream of their own little white picket fence and their own little Rick Moranis one day.
Buying a piece of land and just building our own house on it. And of course, get married. Now we're trying to have a baby.
She says that like she's sort of already gone and achieved all that stuff, and is now capping it off with a delightful addition to their legacy. No. They talked about buying some land and building a house, and then they actually tried to have a baby. Not that they actually tried to buy a house, better the lifestyle in some way. No, they fantasized about all that. Now let's cut to the baby having.
I'm just trying to get it in there.
And so what does a Brooke and Jimbo combo need for a night of loving? Well, they've got a tube of some unknown lubricant looking thing, a vape for that after moment when you can't be bothered to go outside, Vaseline, and some nappies, diapers. So either these two are getting extra freaky, or there's kids coming round to visit. Can you imagine? The kids rock up. Hey, cool, Grandma's got her air mattress out. Let's go jump on it. No, stay away from the airbed.
You know, your mom probably heard us this morning, right?
I know.
So, what's happening with your other kids while you're out doing that? Is Rosie O'Donnell still looking after them? Or are we not bothered about that? Sorry, kids, Mum's gone to guard her investment because he can't be trusted to be left alone for 5 minutes. And then she's going to have a baby, so that time that you had with your mum has just been halved. Congratulations. Jimbo, however, needs to get a job so he can get this tag thing off. Also, so that Brooke won't stay over every night.
I'm just staying here long enough for you to get that ankle monitor off.
This is only for like 2-3 more weeks.
So he's got himself a not at all suspicious potential job of his own lined up.
I'm finna meet up with John to go look at this truck for house shotting.
In case, like me, you have no idea what all that meant, I do believe he said he was going to do some hot shotting. Steady yourself, ladies. Which is basically being a freelance delivery person with your own van and your own taxes, and it's called hot shot as you had tight deadlines. To be one, you have to spend $300 on an LLC registration, pay a bunch of insurances, and pass a medical.
If I get 3 or 4 loads going to the oil fields, sleep in a hotel room or something that night.
And there's the worrying bit. The man who likes to hide his activities with at least one other woman wants to be off somewhere, staying God knows where, with God knows who.
I don't feel like I will be able to trust JK when I'm not with him.
And you're still considering having a baby with him? You can't trust him enough to let him go to work without basting someone else's turkey. But, having a baby, yeah, it'll be fine. Also, have you noticed how Brooke's boobs have had a disagreement mid-recording? They start off behaving themselves here, and then later on they've got a whole mind of their own. This one's checking her laces, this one's off to the races.
I gotta go get the boys, take them to school, and then I gotta go to work.
So, with Brooke out of the way, Big John bravely comes out of her room and sees what's been going on in her living room. And all this sharing and caring is becoming a little bit too much.
I just feel like my house is getting smaller and smaller.
No, I don't blame her, really. You're trying to get a bit of rest and all you can hear is Jimbo and his bimbo squeaking about on the airbed.
I ain't mean to be disrespectful or nothing about like you hearing us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of getting much too.
But somewhat graciously, and I did say somewhat graciously, Jimbo apologises to his mum for traumatising her.
I gotta
Put a sock in it or something, okay?
put a sock in it.
Where are we going to be putting the sock? What, in Brooke? If so, I'm not sure where, or whose sock we're going to use. One of Jimbo's? But before we leave to disinfect our senses, Jimbo unleashes this little nugget on us.
I want to be able to have that power couple going on. I want to be able to be making money and she making money and we coming together and we got plenty of money.
Well, I can see Brooke's power couples from here. I like his plan. It's basically get money, be power couple. Genius. So, move out of the way, Obama's back in your box, Posh and Bex. Beyonce who? Because Jimbo and Brooke are taking over, just as soon as they shake this little baby out of her. And just before we leave them, Brooke's also got some nuggets to be dropping.
I have a secret, and JK doesn't know yet.
But it's not all bum jiggling and lubricant today. No. We've also got something prickly and unpleasant to get close to. Yes, it's the return of Coraline and the limp handshake that is Daniel. I think either she had some work done around those eyes or the Photoshop department got carried away again. So let's look at her normally. Oh, yep, Photoshop department. So, the man she claimed was gay and so terrible that she opted to date those studly Warhammer guys instead, is now living with her again in their swish new apartment building. And it starts off with something that looks like one of those found footage horror movies, where the victim is like, if anyone finds these tapes, tell my family I love them and I did what I could. So, as she pretends that she can stand in by walking miles ahead, we're treated to a little glimpse of the complicated mental acrobatics that Daniel's mind is capable of.
You know what I was thinking about?
Boys, Pokemon cards, leaving her ass and putting up with having no money instead. Not the news that he was thinking at all was a bit of a shocker. So as we recover from that revelation, let's see what it was.
What you would look like if you were bald.
Oh, darling, I was just watching you slink across the car park in your gym gear, and I thought, I wonder what she looks like bald. And it's such a strange thing to say. Was he just picturing her bald or thinking of shaving her head? But, as soon as he brought it up, I bet her head's really big and round when you shave her hair off, like a lollipop with an attitude problem. I shouldn't mock the afflicted, really, but, she'll be fine. Probably has a problem buying headphones, though.
Why would you think that?
Why not?
Yeah, thought police. He can think about you being bald if he wants to.
Who's the ass, him or you?
It's a mystery why he wants to, but hey, go Daniel. But then I realised that having Coraline back in the show means we're going to have to listen to her annoying voice again.
That would make me really happy.
Ugh, give me nails and a blackboard any day. This bit is mostly boring. There's another recap of the whole car crash bit explaining her financial freedom.
I didn't realize she was drunk.
Is what she says for insurance purposes. I have a feeling that this is all just footage they had from last season. They had to do something with it. All this car breathalyzer stuff, snore, old interviews, which are supposed to be recent. It was such a slog. But I did have some fun along the way. We get to play another round of Who Has the Least Butt. Last season's winner was Jualia with this effort. But I do think she's got some competition this season as Coraline enters the arena. Ooh, quick, gym class has started and we better not be late.
Circle round, circle round.
Hard to circle, there's only sort of 3 of you. They could do like a triangle, or maybe a half-decent line. But this place is a special gym for recovering addicts and recently released. So as part of that, everyone is encouraged to share what they've achieved by being there. This guy, who appears from like nowhere, talks about how he's doing less murdering now, and stuff like that.
I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah, right.
It's a real good thing.
Yeah.
Dan talks about his addiction.
I discovered that I can adapt
You
and
can
overcome.
adapt.
Yeah.
And to make sure she gets attention too, Coraline pipes up.
Bianca.
Yeah, I'm recently sober.
Yeah, that's a bit like telling them they went to jail for jaywalking. The real answer was, well, I'm here to support my man, and I'm dealing with some drinking behaviours that I need to correct. But no, she goes with the idea that she's just as much as an addict as the rest of the people around her.
I stopped drinking because of Daniel. I didn't want him in that environment.
Bollocks. Let's just have a quickie look at what she said when her drinking was addressed before.
I can drink if I want to drink.
Thank you for the support.
Yeah.
It started to just make me feel like and I just didn't want to drink anymore.
Stop all this faffing about. Let's get some burning done. Feel pains like, it's good for like tomorrow and stuff. Yeah, go gym.
I love your effort. I love it.
And that pretty much sets the tone.
My knees hurt.
Come on.
I'm not wearing the right props for this.
You're good. Come on.
I hate this.
Limey, do we have to put up with them moaning the whole way round? So, to save you this horrendousness, we're skipping to the end to have this little teaser.
I had a slip.
Now time for our next returning couple, and it's Will and Courtney. You remember Will? He's the nerdy guy with the furry dating app and the strange kinks. Courtney was the girl who liked to do disappearing acts and had a reputation for ghosting everyone when she had a thing to do. Well, yes indeedy, Courtney was looking at some time for being a naughty girl and violating her parole. Lucky parole. That has now got herself in a delightful ensuite room for 2. Don't worry though, Courtney. Will is here to soothe your troubles and support your stupid ass.
That's just so responsible, Courtney.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for telling me that.
In a kind of dad who's disappointed in you kind of way. But I can totally see his frustration. She's giving him precious little to cling on to, and is clearly up to who knows what behind his back. So he gives her a response that might just be justified.
Eat that jail food and wait your ass out.
Last time to Brooke and JK, and I think Brooke has finally seen some sense.
Having a baby right now is probably not the best idea.
Good, well that's sorted then. Thanks for watching and no, that's not the end, unfortunately. Now the next sentence doesn't start with but, as you might expect, it goes,
I have $23 to my name.
fantastic. So what about the wonderful JK? Is he earning? Well, currently he's donating plasma, which gets him $100 at a time for the first 4 weeks, and then maybe $80 after that. He can do it twice a week, at least 2 days apart. So he could be earning a whopping $640 a month.
Having a baby right now is probably not the best idea.
No, it really isn't. It never was. And you know what else was a pretty crap idea? Letting Jimbo's close friend and ally move in with you. Well, seeing as she's got a job, I can kind of see why it's handy for Brooke.
I just want a baby with JK because, I do want to be with him, and I know, him having his own kid is something that he's always wanted.
He's probably always wanted a dirt bike and an invitation to the Playboy Mansion, but do we need to give him those things to keep him? When does the cost outweigh the reward? So we're here at the restaurant with Bonnie, whose boss totally doesn't mind people rocking up out of the blue to talk to you, apparently. But, this scene isn't totally staged at all.
You're not busy right now?
If you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean. So, what's Brooke here for? To ask her what's going on behind her back? Nope, she's here to try not to pay all of Bonnie's bills.
Like, I'm gonna need you to pay all of your half.
Turns out that Bonnie has been living at Brooke's place and hasn't even been paying her bills properly. So, Brooke brings in a woman she'd never met, a woman the untrustable man says is okay, which, must mean a lot, and that pays the majority of bills, even though...
I'm working 2 jobs, plus the cleaning job. Like, I'm trying.
So where's all your money then? If you're working 3 jobs, and where's all the cash gone? Well, I bet it's in the same place as her loyalty to Brooke, which, if you haven't already guessed, is located somewhere in the toilet area.
Are you gonna be more loyal to me than you are JK?
Ooh, well, now here's a ponderance. Forget about the money and stuff for a moment. Does the fact she's given Bonnie a place to live overrule her loyalty to JK? She's given her a roof over her head and paid her bills. Surely that should give you some loyalty in return? But does that support equate to giving up a loyalty to someone else? Well, what do you think? Well, Bonnie thinks it's time for some diplomacy.
If you tell me something or he tells me something, there's a level of confidentiality.
Which is a pretty reasonable thing to say. Perhaps if it sounded a bit more like, hey look, I'm yours friend and I don't want to get involved, so if you respect my position in all this, please keep your secrets to yourself, then it may have sounded a bit less robotic.
Like, I got you.
But while they do that, let's check out some of our man behaviour at work. This episode is How Men Do Manning. Lesson 1, buying something with an engine.
You the guy I talked to on the phone? Yeah, JK.
CJ.
No. Nice to meet you.
I bet the last guy wishes he had a J in his name too. I just heard sort of Nug or something.
No. Nice to meet you.
See, in Man Universe, having this kind of nearly sound-alike kind of name is enough to get a bromance going. Thus, men are so easily sorted into teams. Show us a ball or someone who shares part or all of our name, and we're friends forever. See how pleasantly surprised he was to have such a similar name.
Yeah, JK.
CJ.
But it's all just a show, as he's not actually got any money to buy it. So what the hell did we get this scene for? To find out that CJ has probably got a short girlfriend? Why do I think that? This here is the classic foundation track of a short woman wearing ivory powder. Back to Brooke, who has decided to drop a dirty little secret all over the floor.
I lost my job.
So we're to believe that her mum sacked her from the world's least busy thrift shop. Sure. The woman who bends over backwards to raise your kids has just sacked you for running off to bust Jimbo at the end of last season. Okay. I personally don't believe that for a second. If she did sack her, it's probably because her ass is constantly at Jimbo's house, babysitting a grown-ass man.
You cannot say cannot for any reason say anything.
Yeah, of course she won't. She's not really drafting a text under the table as we speak.
If he finds out that I do not have a job, he will leave me.
You can hear those cogs turning, can't you? Here's a thought. What if Brooke is playing 4D chess and this is all just a test? What if she hasn't been sacked and was just testing Bonnie to see if she'll tell JK? Well, this is Brooke we're talking about, so maybe not. Anyway, Brooke got that off her escaping chest and now everything's fine, right?
I'm not gonna hide that from him.
But what's her game? So she gets Brooke out of the way, so what? Does she have no money because she's secretly been saving it for a deposit and is just waiting for the right time to leave Brooke's house and take her man? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you so much for joining me today for our little journey through the lockups. It's been a true pleasure to entertain you, and you are much appreciated. If you like what I do, then do please like, subscribe, and try one of these little beauties. So until we meet again, stay beautiful, love to my three, and you take care of yourself.